Hi guys, I'm going to show you how to fix this Philips coffee machine. This is the EP1220, but the same process applies for any machine. As you can see, the problem is these three red flashing lights. I'm going to show you how to diagnose the machine and to perform the simple repair. You're going to start by removing this cover here. That's where your coffee goes in, and just clean out all the coffee beans that you may have in there, because we're going to have to open these little screws, 1, 2, and on this side 3 at the top, and the fourth one is inside the grinder. To open these up, you're just going to need a size 10, that's a hexagonal screwdriver. Just trying to focus on it. But yeah, that's what it looks like. And off we go. Open the 4 screws. And once you've got the 4 screws out, just lift up these. You just gotta pop this open, and the back flap will lift up. And inside here, you can see this little grinder. Clean it up as best you can. I used a little tweezer to get out as much coffee beans as possible. You want that as clean as possible, so when you diagnose the machine, you can hear all the parts that you need to hear to make sure they're in working order. Okay, to diagnose the machine, what we're going to do is remove this water tank. And then on the side here, you're going to see a little door. Pop that open. And where it says push, we're just going to give that a little push and remove the brew group. So this is your brew group. We're going to put that in a bit later, but you can give that a good clean. Run it under some water, clean out the parts as best you can. So once your brew group is cleaned up nicely, we're just going to pop it back into place. Close the door and insert the water tank. Then we're going to make sure that power is switched off to the machine, so there's no power. Whatever residual power was in has now been removed. And we're going to do this next part quite quickly. We're going to switch it on and then hit steam, espresso, coffee, hot water. And you can see it does a little flash. All right. Once you see this flashing, it means you're in service mode or test mode for the machine. And that's where we want to be in order to diagnose the problem. There's different modes, different test modes, level 0, level 1, and level 2. In order for us to diagnose it, we're going to need to get to level 2. So to get to level 2, we press this once and twice. And now you're on level 2 of testing the unit. And what we can do is simply just, so make sure that's pointing towards the drip tray. Test the hot water. That seems to be working fine. Test espresso. You can hear the brew group moving around, so that seems all right. Test coffee. That seems to be working fine. We'll test the steamer. That seems to be working fine. And when we press coffee, we see a little red light come up. So that little red light, when you look it up in the service manual, that'll tell you that our NTC sensor is faulty, our thermostat or temperature control sensor. So that's what we need to replace or fix. To access that sensor, I'm going to just open up the screw here, these 2 screws. So you'll see the side flap opens up, but it's still stuck. And that's because there's another screw at the back, down at the bottom there, that we need to open. And then you'll see it still doesn't remove because there's actually a 4th screw. If you remove the drip tray, you'll see another screw holding it in place. So just remove the 4 screws. So there you have it. Now your coffee machine is open. And we need to look for the NTC sensor to get that replaced. This yellow cord that you see here going down to that little metal motor. This is the NTC sensor, and that's the one that's giving us the error. So if you trace it, it goes from down here all the way up, and it's connected to something up there. We need to just have a look at how to remove that. So in order to remove it, I need to take out this back panel, because we can see the NTC sensor is connected to the motherboard at the back. Okay, now that it's open, we can see the NTC sensor goes into the motherboard there. We can unclip it on the one side, but to unclip it on this side, I need to open up that screw at the bottom and on the side as well. Just need to remove those 2 screws. There's it there in the corner. Okay, once you remove the screws, you've got to remove this black plastic thing from whatever component this is. The problem is there's this little black clip on this side and on the back that you've got to lever out. So I just found a little plastic tool to pop them open. You might need someone to help you, and then it just slides right off. And there you see you have access to this yellow NTC cord. We're just going to undo that screw to open up the clamp that's holding the NTC in place. And once you've removed it from the clamp, you can unplug it at the back on the motherboard. And now we just need to get a replacement of this. Based on my estimates, I've phoned around, and this is about 207 Rand to replace. So let's get a new one and pop that in. The other thing I forgot to mention was this little screw to remove the NTC cable. That's actually a T20. I've been using a T10 to open the rest of the machine up, but for some reason that requires a T20 head. Okay, once you've connected up your new NTC sensor, just got to put back everything the way we found it. So once it's all put back together, throw some beans in the hopper, and let's switch it on and hope for the best. There we go, so no more flashing lights, so no more errors. Let's just give hot water a try. Hopefully, if that thermostat sensor is working, well, there we go, we should get hot water. And you can see the steam coming out, so hopefully the rest of the machine is functioning perfectly.